Seriously, another one? You see these headlines? AI is going to change everything, make us all obsolete. I'm telling you, I'm getting some serious .com flashbacks here. It's all hype, zero substance.
It's the same exact pattern, isn't it? Remember the Y2K panic? The whole world was about to end. Then, poof, the .com bubble bursts, and all those revolutionary ideas just vanished. We've definitely seen this movie before. This just feels like another gold rush for kids who've never had to actually rack a server.
I mean, we were there, right? We carried pagers. We spent entire nights compiling kernels from scratch because there was no other way. We practically lived in those freezing server closets, untangling spaghetti messes you wouldn't believe. So when I hear about this new revolution, I grab my coffee and wait for reality to kick in.
Okay, look, I get the cynicism. I really do. I was right there with you. But you're starting from the wrong place. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is buying into this core myth that AI is here to replace us, to make our decades of experience worthless. And that, my friend, is just fundamentally wrong.
See, here's what's really happening. All this generative AI stuff, it's made raw coding speed a commodity. It's cheap now. Anyone can get it. But by doing that, it's created this massive scarcity of the one thing it can't produce: wisdom, judgment, context. You know, the very things we've spent our entire careers building up. The world is flooded with noise. Our wisdom is the filter.
You know, the best way to think about it is this. Treat AI like that brilliant but reckless intern we had back in, 99? You remember the type. Blazing fast, knew all the new tricks, but you wouldn't let them get within 10 feet of the production database without an adult in the room. Now check this out, because the parallel is almost perfect. Both have an incredibly high IQ. They can churn out code or solve problems at a speed we couldn't even dream of. But their wisdom, their judgment, it's dangerously low. They need constant supervision, because they'll hard-code secrets into an app or introduce a massive security vulnerability without even blinking. You know, an AI hallucination is just the 2024 version of a junior dev typing rm-rf/ on the wrong server. So, and this is the crucial point, our role has shifted. We're not on the assembly line writing every single line of code anymore. We're the editor-in-chief. The AI writes the first draft, fast and messy, and our job is to review it, edit it, and give the final sign-off before it goes anywhere near production. We provide the wisdom.
And this is where we have a massive advantage. We are uniquely suited for this role because we're the original latchkey kids of the tech world. We grew up having to figure things out all on our own.
He's absolutely right. There was no Stack Overflow. There was no Google. If you were stuck, you had a 3-inch thick physical manual, or you were reading the man pages. You figured it out. Trial and error wasn't a bug, it was the entire feature. And it means when the shiny new abstraction layer breaks down, we actually know how to fix the plumbing. We don't just know who to call. Exactly. And that whole experience built our first superpower, the built-in BS detector. We lived through the .com bubble. We saw insane valuations for companies that had no product. Our default setting is skepticism. And in a world where AI can generate anything, verification is suddenly way more valuable than creation. Which brings us to superpower number 2, systems thinking. It's that ability to see how all the parts of a system are interconnected, not just the one little component in front of you. An AI is great at writing a single isolated function, but we see the whole system it plugs into. We're thinking about the budget, the backup and recovery plan, the compliance requirements, all those downstream dependencies. The AI sees the code, we see the consequences. And that ability to see the whole system leads directly to our third superpower, which, by the way, is being sold as some new mystical skill, but it's something we've literally been doing for decades. It's called spec writing. Oh, don't even get me started on prompt engineering. It is the most ridiculous, overhyped job title I have heard in years. It's just, I'm with you. It's just old wine in a new bottle. Let's just break it down.
So, okay, this is the fancy modern definition they're all using. The practice of designing and refining inputs to elicit desired outputs. Sounds complex, right? Sounds like you need some kind of special certification for it.
But here's the reality. We have been doing this exact thing since the Clinton administration. We just called it writing a good technical specification. A prompt is just a spec for the AI. You're defining the requirements, the constraints, and the desired outcome. That's it.
And this just nails the point, doesn't it? A vague spec has always led to bad software. Garbage in, garbage out. That was true when we were building client-server apps, and it's true now that we're talking to a language model. The fundamental principle is identical.
Right. So for the editors-in-chief, we still have to know the language.
We have to be able to effectively audit what the AI is kicking out. Which brings us to the practical part. How do we stay sharp without getting lost in all the hype?
I've tried. I spent a whole weekend sifting through YouTube tutorials by some kid who's probably never even seen a real command line. It's all hype and smash that like button. A total and complete waste of time. Well, that's the hard way. The smart way is to approach this like a professional. We just don't have time for that stuff. We need a structured, vetted path that respects our experience. We don't need another for beginners course. We need something like Generative AI for leaders or cloud architecture patterns for the enterprise.
Look, we don't have time for fluff. We need the manual. You know, the modern equivalent of that thick, trusted O'Reilly book we used to keep on our desks. And that's where a platform like Pluralsight comes in. It's for professionals who want to audit the AI, not just copy and paste from it. It's the right tool for the editor-in-chief.
So let's land the plane here. This isn't a threat, it's a promotion. The job is no longer about who can type the fastest. The world is drowning in code and content. Our value, our real superpower, is wisdom. So we should stop worrying about competing. Don't try to outcode the machine. Orchestrate it.